Hello everybody, this is Ultra Fud to Fud. Now this is a ranty type video, I guess you could say. Last year I would have done something very similar about EA, but this year the EA award goes to Activision. Just on the basis that recent things what they've been doing, and they're complaining about it as well, which is actually more to the point of what really annoys me about the whole thing. Is so at BlizzCon, as we all know, they announced Diablo Immortal, which didn't go down very well with the fans, obviously, because we've been waiting for like 8 years for a new Diablo title, and they present us with this game that no one wants to play on a phone. They want to play it on their desktop. Right, which is fine. I understand the fact people want to play on their desktop. I personally am a console user. I want to play on my console, but I don't want to play on a phone. So why they thought it was a good idea is beyond me. Also, then they had to cheat her and say we've all got phones and tablets and things, so why not? It's just the cheek of it, in my opinion, is it's overwhelming. It's absolutely overwhelming. They've completely lost touch with their fan base, and obviously previous developers of the game have also done the same things. It's not the same Blizzard we knew 10, 15 years ago. It's all changed since last time we knew. And it's all a bit kind of sad, but it all roots back to who actually owns Blizzard: Activision. Now, as we all know, the big three culprits of money making are Ubisoft, EA, and Activision. And I think what really bugs me the most is that, like, I can't say EA have learned their lesson, because inevitably they're gonna fuck up again at some time. They just will. They're going to. But Ubisoft turned around and said, okay, look, we fucked up. We're gonna sort it out. Don't worry about it. And they're doing their thing. They will probably eventually put microtransactions back in the game. It wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, EA are sneaky little fuckers, and they will eventually put things like that back in the game. So they will. It's natural. You won't even notice it. It'll be very subtle. But Activision seem to be completely blind to it. They're just sort of like, oh, this big thing that happened with Star Wars Battlefront. Now, don't even see what happened or promise with that. What happened there? Oh, well, fuck it. We'll just charge £109 for a game. That's fine. With all the DLC included, Black Ops. But basically, they haven't really learned their lesson from microtransaction hell. The problem they've got is now they're complaining that Diablo's obviously not going to sell very well. They just lost I think after working out, it was like $3.06 billion in stocks, and then 3 days later they're going to lose another 20% on the stock market, which is something ridiculous. I don't even know how much money that is. This is stupid. It's per share. It's ridiculous money. But now they're complaining that Destiny 2 isn't performing as well as they would like. Really? I mean, it took you that long to figure it out? I mean, I played Destiny 2. I actually quite enjoyed it when it first came out. Okay, it had that sort of issue with the whole leveling up thing once you finish the game, and the whole overpriced DLC, and you see where this is going, don't you? So essentially, they should have put the marketplace in the first place. There shouldn't have been any microtransactions in the first place. And the first two DLCs, my personal opinion, should have been free. Not only did they mess up the game from word dot, because obviously they got Destiny 1 right in the end, but they didn't carry that on to Destiny 2. They basically just pushed the reset button and said, fuck you all, we'll do what we want. And now they've taken note after a couple of years of its release that it's not selling or performing as well as they'd like to. And so what their answer is, quite simply, put more content in. Great idea. Put more content in for the gamers. That's what people want. And stick a price tag on it, which is what people don't want. And include more microtransactions, which people really, really don't want. I don't think they're ever going to find a healthy balance between the two. The only problem is with Activision is that they're greedy. They're greedy and they want to make money, and people are not going to put up with it anymore. I think this year, Activision have turned around and basically slapped a big EA sticker on their forehead and gone, "This is who we are this year," and it's not going to do so well. Square Enix is no different. Recently, one of their head directors of Final Fantasy 15 has left, cancelling 3 of the 4 DLCs due to come out, which has lost them a lot of money. Obviously, with one person like that leaving, that's like the end of the game. So I wouldn't expect anything from them. And then, it's just sad the way things are at the moment in the industry. Especially when a company like Blizzard turns around and says, this will bring the family together, this is what we're going to do. Obviously the game's going to be free to play. But as we all know with mobile games, they're littered with microtransactions, and I just feel that they have completely lost touch. It's very sad. Diablo was one of those games I grew up with when I got a PlayStation 1. I first played it on PS1 thinking, oh my god, a dungeon crawler game type thing I can play with my brother and kill the big devil thing. I mean, it's so cool. And then played Diablo 2, and then Diablo 3, and now waiting for Diablo 4, which doesn't seem to ever happen because obviously mobile. So you can understand why people are really upset. And also, Activision have sneakily put microtransactions back into Call of Duty. They said they weren't, but never trust anything that says they're not going to do it. But they've done it. They went and did it, and they basically said, this whole Call of Duty Blackout thing, where you level up to level 200 per season, I think it is. I'd personally own the game, but it's the same sort of similar thing as Fortnite, where you can pay to advance in tiers. I think it worked out to about £170 if you paid for all the tiers all the way up to 200 per season. And are you really taking the piss? I mean, really, are you taking the piss? But also, I have noticed something very similar happening in other game types. For instance, it worries me to think that back when we first started getting microtransactions like these, we were introduced to what's known as the Season Pass. Now, I used to play a lot of Gears of War, so when they announced the Season Pass for Gears of War 3, they said you'll be able to save, I think it was $7.99 over the course of all 3 DLCs. Okay, so that sounds pretty good, so I went and bought the Season Pass. Now what we're seeing, and maybe 10 years on, is we're seeing 2 Season Passes. So what they're getting is all that DLC, chopping it in half and saying, you know what, we're going to make you pay twice. And if you're a mug, you will pay it. So I'm a mug, apparently. I bought the Season Pass for Tekken 7. It annoys me, I didn't want to have to do that to get the new characters, but apparently if I want everything included in that game, which I am quite a big fan of, I've got to buy it. And if this is the way games are going, then I think we're in a lot of trouble. Because I just feel that if a game comes out finished and well designed, well played, with enough content in, it doesn't need even DLC, it just needs to be looked after. I mean, like you're seeing Red Dead right now, I mean, that game is pretty much finished. They will release DLC for it inevitably, and the online mode will be out at the end of November. But it's pretty much finished. There's nothing really he's doing to it. And for a standard price of what the games are these days, which is $54.99, that's not actually a bad price for the content you're getting. This game is groundbreaking, sorry. And I just feel that certain companies are completely losing touch with what the reality of what gamers want. This is why we're starting to see such an outrage. People also moan the fact that we gamers shouldn't have a voice. We should just put up and shut up and get on with it. But the problem is, if we don't voice what we think is right, especially when it comes to the games we play, then nothing's ever going to get sorted. You have to keep applying pressure to these silly companies who, like, don't give a toss about what you really want. It's like I heard somewhere else, they're sitting in their big ivory towers in America or Japan. We don't need to make all these changes for the gamers. We'll just do what we want to do and charge you through the arse for your game. We don't care as long as the stock market's good. Who cares what the gamer actually wants? It's just really sad. I think a lot of people lost touch with the way things go. Anyway, that's what I've got to say about the whole thing. I'm not the only one. This is obviously actually quite a late video if you think about it. I'm coming to this party late, but at the same time, it's just been doing my head in for the last like 2-3 weeks. Listening to all this BlizzCon stuff, Activision rubbish, reading about it everywhere I go. It's just like, maybe I should make a video too about it, and maybe I should have my say as well, because like, I think the more people that do this kind of stuff, I think we'll maybe get the message across. Anyway, that's me, that's Ultra FUD. I hope you've enjoyed me riding on a donkey for the last 11 minutes, and yeah, just enjoy what you're playing, and don't let these companies take the piss out of us. Seriously, it's not good for us. So yeah, down my